If you look closely at the lives of those who've reached the pinnacle of their fields, you'll notice a common thread running through their stories. It's not luck, it's not connections, and it's certainly not some secret shortcut to the top. No, what sets these individuals apart is something far more powerful, far more attainable than most people realize. It's the principle of being so good they can't ignore you. Now, you might be wondering, what does that really mean? How can you become so exceptional that the world has no choice but to take notice? Well, let me tell you, it's a journey that starts right here, right now, with the choices you make and the actions you take every single day. The last time you encountered true excellence, maybe it was a musician whose melodies transported you to another world, or a chef whose culinary creations danced on your taste buds. Perhaps it was a colleague whose work ethic and innovative ideas consistently raised the bar for everyone around them. What did all these experiences have in common? They left an impression, didn't they? They stood out in a world that's increasingly crowded with mediocrity. That's the power of being so good. They can't ignore you. It's about rising above the noise, about creating value that's so undeniable, so exceptional that it demands attention. This kind of excellence isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to put in the work, to anyone committed to the pursuit of mastery in their chosen field. Okay. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I'm not naturally talented. I don't have any special gifts. Let me stop you right there. Natural talent is overrated. Sure, it can give you a head start, but it's not the deciding factor in long-term success. What truly matters is your willingness to work, to learn, to improve day after day, year after year. I'm going to tell you a story about my friend whose name was Jack. Jack wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, nor did he possess any extraordinary talents. He was, by all accounts, average. But Jack had one thing going for him: an insatiable hunger to excel at his craft. Jack worked in a small manufacturing plant, operating a machine that made precision parts. When he first started, he was slow, making mistakes that cost the company time and money. But instead of getting discouraged, Jack made a decision that would change the course of his life. He decided to become the best machine operator that plant had ever seen. Every day, Jack arrived at work an hour early. He studied the machine manual, experimented with different techniques, and sought advice from more experienced colleagues. He practiced during his lunch breaks and stayed late to perfect his skills. At home, he read books on engineering and mechanical processes, determined to understand not just how to operate the machine, but why it worked the way it did. Months passed, and slowly but surely, Jack's dedication began to pay off. His output increased, his error rate dropped to nearly zero, and he started suggesting improvements to the manufacturing process. Before long, Jack wasn't just operating the machine. He was innovating, finding ways to increase efficiency and quality that no one else had thought of. 2 years after he started, Jack was promoted to floor manager. 5 years later, he was overseeing operations for the entire plant. Today, Jack runs his own successful manufacturing company known for its cutting-edge processes and unparalleled quality. Now, what was the difference between Jack and his coworkers? It wasn't natural talent or luck. It was his unwavering commitment to excellence, his determination to be so good that he couldn't be ignored. This, my friends, is the essence of what we're talking about today. It's about adopting a mindset of continuous improvement, of relentless growth. It's about understanding that true success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through consistent, deliberate effort over time. This isn't about working yourself to the bone or sacrificing everything else in your life. It's about working smart, about focusing your energy on the things that truly matter. It's about developing a deep understanding of your field, honing your skills to a razor-sharp edge, and consistently delivering value that exceeds expectation. Okay, so how do you start on this path? How do you begin the journey of becoming so good they can't ignore you? Well, it starts with a decision to commit to excellence in everything you do, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Remember, excellence is not an act, but a habit. It's not about doing extraordinary things occasionally. It's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well, consistently. It's about showing up every day, ready to give your best, ready to learn, ready to grow. Think about your current job, your current responsibilities. Are you merely going through the motions, doing just enough to get by? Or are you approaching each task with a commitment to excellence? Are you constantly looking for ways to improve, to add more value, to make a bigger impact? The truth is, in today's world, being good enough isn't good enough anymore. The marketplace is crowded, competition is fierce, and mediocrity is quickly becoming obsolete. To truly stand out, to create a life and career that's extraordinary, you need to be exceptional. You need to be so good, they can't ignore you. Right? Now, I can see some of you shifting uncomfortably in your seats. You might be thinking, that sounds great, but I'm already working hard. I'm already doing my best. And to that I say, fantastic. You're already on the right track. But let me ask you this. Are you working hard on the right things? Things so good, they can't ignore you. It isn't just about putting in long hours or ticking boxes on a to-do list. It's about strategic growth, about identifying the skills and knowledge that will truly set you apart in your field, and then relentlessly pursuing mastery in those areas. Let me share another story with you. There was once a young woman named Ava who worked in a bustling marketing agency. Ava was hardworking and dedicated, often staying late to finish projects and always willing to take on extra tasks. But despite her efforts, she found herself stuck in the same position year after year, watching as others got promoted around her. One day, Ava decided to take a step back and analyze her situation. She realized that while she was working hard, she wasn't working smart. She was spreading herself thin, trying to be good at everything instead of exceptional at the things that really matter. Okay, so Ava made a change. She identified the skills that were most valuable in her industry: data analysis, strategic planning, and creative copywriting. Then she created a plan to become a master in these areas. Ava started taking online courses in data analytics. She volunteered for projects that allowed her to flex her strategic muscles. She joined a writers group to hone her copywriting skills. And most importantly, she started applying these new skills to her work, finding innovative ways to use data to drive marketing strategies and crafting compelling copy that resonated with clients. Within 6 months, Ava's work was turning heads. Her campaigns were outperforming others, her strategies were bringing in new clients, and her copy was winning awards. She had become so good, her bosses couldn't ignore her anymore. Within a year, Ava was promoted to a senior position, and today, she runs her own successful marketing consultancy. The lesson here is clear. To be so good they can't ignore you, you need to focus on developing the skills that truly matter in your field. It's not about being a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's about identifying your unique strengths and the key skills in your industry, and then relentlessly pursuing excellence in those areas. But here's the thing. This journey towards excellence, towards being so good, they can't ignore you. It's not always easy. There will be challenges. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you feel like you're not making progress, when you're tempted to throw in the towel and settle for mediocrity. The path to excellence is not a straight line. It's a winding road full of ups and downs, twists and turns. But each challenge, each setback, each moment of doubt is an opportunity for growth. It's a chance to learn, to adapt, to become even better. Okay. Any skill you've mastered in your life? Maybe it's playing an instrument or cooking a particular dish or excelling at a sport. Did you become proficient overnight? Of course not. It took time, practice, and persistence. There were probably moments when you wanted to quit, when you felt like you weren't making progress. But you kept going, and eventually your hard work paid off. The same principle applies to becoming so good. They can't ignore you in your professional life. It's about embracing the journey, about finding joy in the process of improvement itself. It's about understanding that every obstacle is an opportunity, every failure a lesson, every setback a stepping stone to greater success. Being so good they can't ignore you isn't just about developing skills or acquiring knowledge. It's about bringing enthusiasm, energy, and genuine interest to your work. When you're passionate about what you do, it shows. It shines through in the quality of your work, in the innovative ideas you bring to the table, in the extra mile you're willing to go to deliver exceptional results. Passion is the fuel that keeps you going when the going gets tough, the spark that ignites your creativity and drives you to push beyond your limits. Passion isn't always something you start with. Sometimes it's something you develop along the way. As you become more skilled, as you start to see the impact of your work, as you delve deeper into the intricacies of your field, passion often follows. So don't wait for passion to strike before you start on your journey to excellence. Start now, commit to the process of improvement, and watch as passion grows alongside your skills and knowledge. In today's rapidly changing world, standing still is the same as moving backward. The skills that are valuable today might be obsolete Jacaro. The industries that are thriving now might be disrupted in the blink of an eye. To truly excel, to remain at the top of your game, you need to be a lifelong learner. You need to cultivate a curious mind, always seeking new knowledge, always looking for ways to expand your skills and deepen your understanding. This doesn't necessarily mean going back to school or investing in expensive training programs, although these can certainly be valuable. It means developing a habit of learning in your everyday life. It means reading books and articles related to your field, listening to podcasts, attending webinars, and engaging in discussions with peers and mentors. It means being open to new ideas, willing to challenge your assumptions, and ready to adapt to changing circumstances. It means seeing every experience, every interaction, every project as an opportunity to learn and grow. Remember, knowledge is not just power, it's opportunity. The more you know, the more valuable you become. The more skills you have, the more problems you can solve. The deeper your understanding, the more innovative solutions you can create. It's not enough to just accumulate knowledge. You need to apply what you learn. You need to experiment, to try new approaches, to put your skills to the test in real-world situations. That's where true growth happens. That's where you start to stand out from the crowd. You see, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how much knowledge you accumulate, you can't reach the pinnacle of success alone. You need to build strong, meaningful relationships with others in your field. These relationships serve multiple purposes. They provide support and encouragement when you're facing challenges. They offer opportunities for collaboration and innovation. They open doors to new opportunities and connections. And perhaps most importantly, they provide different perspectives that can broaden your understanding and push you to grow in new ways. But building these relationships isn't about networking in the traditional sense. It's not about collecting business cards or making superficial connections. It's about genuinely engaging with others, about being willing to give as much as you receive, about contributing value to your professional community. It's about being the kind of person others want to work with. Reliable, supportive, innovative, and always striving for excellence. When you become known not just for your skills, but for your character and your willingness to help others succeed, that's when you truly become indispensable. Not all practice is created equal. Simply going through the motions, repeating the same tasks over and over without focused intent, won't lead to significant improvement. Deliberate practice, on the other hand, is a structured and focused approach to improving your skills. It involves setting specific goals, breaking down complex skills into manageable parts, and consistently pushing yourself just beyond your current abilities. A professional athlete, they don't just show up to practice and casually run through drills. They focus on specific aspects of their game, working tirelessly to improve their weaknesses and refine their strengths. They analyze their performance, seek feedback from coaches, and constantly push themselves to new levels of performance. The same principle applies in any field. If you want to be so good, they can't ignore you. You need to approach your work with the same level of focus and intentionality. Identify the key skills that are most crucial to your success. Break these skills down into their component parts. Then create a deliberate practice routine that allows you to systematically improve each aspect of your performance. This might mean setting aside time each day to work on a specific skill. It might mean seeking out challenging projects that push you out of your comfort zone. It might mean regularly soliciting feedback from mentors or peers and using that feedback to refine your approach. Remember, the goal of deliberate practice isn't just to do more of what you're already doing. It's about pushing yourself to do things you can't yet do, to stretch your abilities, to venture into the realm of the difficult and unfamiliar. That's where true growth happens. Many people believe that to be truly exceptional, you need to be a perfectionist to obsess over every tiny detail. But the truth is, perfectionism can often be more of a hindrance than a help on your journey to becoming so good they can't ignore you. Perfectionism can lead to paralysis. It can make you so afraid of making mistakes that you never take risks, never try new things, never push beyond your current limitations. And without those risks, without those experiments, without those occasional failures, you can't grow. You can't improve. You can't become exceptional. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for excellence. Understand that mistakes and failures are not just inevitable, they're essential. They're how you learn. They're how you grow. They're how you discover new approaches and innovative solutions. The most successful people achieve their success by playing it safe, by sticking to what they knew they could do perfectly. Of course not. They achieve success by taking calculated risks, by pushing boundaries, by being willing to fail in pursuit of something greater. So don't let the fear of imperfection hold you back. Embrace the process of learning and growth. Celebrate your successes, learn from your failures, and keep pushing forward. That's how you become so good they can't ignore you. In today's rapidly changing world, being good at what you do today isn't enough. You need to be able to adapt to new circumstances, to evolve your skills as your industry changes, to stay ahead of the curve. Think about some of the most successful companies of the past few decades. The ones that have truly stood the test of time aren't necessarily those that were the biggest or most profitable at any given moment. They're the ones that were able to adapt, to pivot when necessary, to embrace new technologies and new ways of doing business. The same principle applies to individuals. To be so good they can't ignore you, you need to be adaptable. You need to be willing to let go of outdated skills or approaches. You need to be open to new ideas, new technologies, new ways of thinking. This doesn't mean chasing after every new trend or fad. It means staying informed about developments in your field. It means being willing to question your assumptions and change your approach when the evidence suggests there's a better way. It means cultivating a growth mindset, a belief that your abilities are not fixed, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. The goal isn't just to be good at what you do, it's to be so good they can't ignore you. And in a world that's constantly changing, that means being able to adapt, to evolve, to stay relevant and valuable no matter what changes come your way. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm not in a position to make big changes right now. I'm stuck in a job I don't love, or I'm dealing with personal challenges that are taking up all my energy. To that I say, start where you are. You don't need to make dramatic changes overnight. You don't need to quit your job or completely overhaul your life. Start small. Start with the tasks and responsibilities you have right now. Can you find ways to do your current job better than anyone else? Can you bring more creativity, more efficiency, more value to your daily work? Can you take on a small project that allows you to develop new skills? Can you spend just 15 minutes a day learning something new related to your field? Remember, becoming so good they can't ignore you is not a destination. It's a journey. It's about making small, consistent improvements over time. It's about cultivating a mindset of excellence that permeates everything you do. Consider the compound effect of these small improvements. If you improve just 1% each day over the course of a year, you'll end up 37 times better than where you started. That's the power of consistent, incremental growth. To be truly exceptional, you need to understand your strengths and weaknesses. You need to be honest with yourself about where you excel and where you need improvement. This self-awareness allows you to make strategic decisions about where to focus your efforts. It helps you identify the areas where you can make the biggest impact, where your unique combination of skills and experiences can create the most value. But self-awareness isn't just about knowing your skills. It's also about understanding your values, your passions, your motivations, what drives you. What kind of work makes you feel alive and energized? When you align your pursuit of excellence with your core values and passions, that's when you can truly become unstoppable. In today's world, where education and artificial intelligence are changing the nature of work, creativity is becoming increasingly valuable. It's one of the few things that machines can't easily replicate. Creativity isn't just about artistic expression. It's about finding new solutions to problems, seeing connections that others miss, bringing fresh perspectives to old challenges. It's about innovation, about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in your field. So how do you cultivate creativity? It starts with curiosity. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, look for inspiration in unexpected places. Read widely, not just in your field, but in other areas as well. Some of the most innovative ideas come from cross-pollination between different disciplines. Practice brainstorming. Set aside time to generate ideas without judgment. Quantity often leads to quality when it comes to creative thinking. The more ideas you generate, the more likely you are to stumble upon something truly innovative. Collaborate with others. Different perspectives can spark new ideas and push your thinking in new directions. Seek out opportunities to work with people from diverse backgrounds and disciplines. And remember, creativity often flourishes in constraints. Don't wait for perfect conditions or unlimited resources. Some of the most creative solutions emerge when we're forced to work within limitations. You could be the most skilled, most knowledgeable person in your field, but if you can't effectively communicate your ideas, much of your value will go unrecognized. Effective communication isn't just about speaking clearly or writing well, although these are certainly important. It's about understanding your audience, tailoring your message to their needs and interests. It's about being able to explain complex ideas in simple terms to tell compelling stories that illustrate your points. It's also about listening, really listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly seeking to understand others' perspectives. This kind of deep listening not only helps you communicate more effectively, but it also opens you up to new ideas and insights that can fuel your own growth and innovation. Develop your presentation skills. Learn to craft compelling narratives. Practice explaining your ideas to people outside your field. The better you become at communicating your value, the more likely you are to be noticed and recognized for your excellence. The path to excellence is rarely smooth. There will be setbacks, failures, moments of doubt. Resilience is what allows you to bounce back from these challenges, to learn from them and keep moving forward. Resilience isn't about never feeling discouraged or frustrated. It's about how you respond to those feelings. It's about maintaining your commitment to excellence even when things get tough. One key aspect of resilience is reframing challenges as opportunities. When you encounter a setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger, more skilled, more adaptable? Another important element of resilience is self-care. Taking care of your physical and mental health isn't a luxury. It's essential. Regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep, and stress management techniques like meditation can all contribute to your resilience and overall performance. Build a support network. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage your growth, who can offer perspective when you're facing challenges. This support can be invaluable in helping you maintain your resilience and stay committed to your goals. In today's world of constant distractions, the ability to focus deeply on important work is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. Deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task, is essential for producing your best work and continually improving your skills. It's in these periods of deep focus that you can push your abilities to their limits, solve complex problems, and generate innovative ideas, and develop strategies for managing distractions. This might mean setting specific times for checking email and social media using website blockers during focused work sessions, or creating a dedicated workspace free from interruption. Practice mindfulness. Train your ability to stay present and focused on the task at hand. This skill can be developed over time with consistent practice. Prioritize your most important work during your peak energy times. For most people, this is in the morning, but everyone is different. Identify when you're at your best and protect that time for your most challenging and important tasks. Remember, becoming so good they can't ignore you isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about maximizing the impact of your efforts by focusing intensely on the things that matter most. Feedback is essential for growth. It helps you identify blind spots, refine your skills, and continuously improve your performance. But not all feedback is created equal. Learn to seek out constructive feedback from people whose opinions you respect, mentors, colleagues, clients. Be specific in your request for feedback. Instead of asking, how am I doing? Try, what's one thing I could do to improve my performance on this project? And when you receive feedback, resist the urge to become defensive. Instead, approach it with curiosity and openness. Even if you don't agree with every piece of feedback you receive, there's almost always something valuable you can learn from it. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. It's to be constantly improving. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools you have for driving that improvement. Even after all this, aren't you trying to stand out from the crowd? But the truth is that teaching others can be the most powerful way to deepen your own expertise and increase your value. When you teach, you're forced to organize your knowledge in new ways. You have to break down complex concepts into simpler parts. You have to anticipate questions and challenges. All of this deepens your own understanding and often leads to new insights. Moreover, by helping others grow and succeed, you build a reputation as a leader in your field. You create a network of people who respect your expertise and are invested in your success. This can lead to new opportunities, collaborations, and recognition. So look for opportunities to share your knowledge. This could be through formal mentoring programs, writing articles or blog posts, giving presentations, or simply taking the time to help a colleague learn a new skill. Becoming so good they can't ignore you isn't about seeking constant external validation or praise. It's not about becoming a workaholic or sacrificing your personal life on the altar of professional success. True excellence is about finding fulfillment in the work itself. It's about the satisfaction of knowing you've given your best, of seeing the impact of your work, of continually expanding your capabilities. It's about creating value for yourself, for your organization, for the world. Remember, success is not a zero-sum game. By becoming exceptional at what you do, you're not taking anything away from anyone else. In fact, you're contributing more. You're raising the bar, inspiring others, creating new possibilities. Keep your focus on growth, on improvement, on the joy of mastery. Let the recognition and success be a byproduct of your excellence, not the goal itself. Becoming so good they can't ignore you is a lifelong journey. It's about continuous learning, deliberate practice, creativity, resilience, focus, and a commitment to excellence in everything you do. It's about aligning your work with your values and passions, about contributing your unique talents to the world in meaningful ways. Remember, you have greatness within you. You have the capacity to become exceptional, to create work that stands out, to make an impact that can't be ignored. The path won't always be easy, but I promise you, it's worth it. So I challenge you today, commit to excellence, commit to continuous improvement, commit to becoming so good they can't ignore you. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. Don't keep it waiting. Step into your greatness. Embrace the challenge of becoming exceptional and watch as doors open, opportunities arise, and success flows into your life in ways you never thought possible. You have the power to shape your destiny. You have the ability to become so good they can't ignore you. The journey starts now. Are you ready to begin?